Hello everybody, Ian Maddox, Hitchcock Maddox Financial Partners, connecting with you on our Financial Planning Simplified series and a continuation specifically of our community series. You'll see in the background here what looks like fitness equipment, and that's exactly what it is. I'm actually sitting in M3 Physical Therapy Clinic in Trussville, Alabama. I have a friend I'm going to introduce here in a second. The natural question you might ask is, Ian, why are we in a physical therapy clinic? That doesn't make any sense. This is financial planning. I'm going to connect those dots here in just a moment, and it will make sense. But before we do that, let me introduce Kenny Joe Finn, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Kenny, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
The idea, Ian, in terms of we've talked about this before, is our clinical philosophy and kind of really our major emphasis is moving well, living well, and doing amazing things. And to do that, it takes kind of a unique approach, but also understanding what you want from life and adding more value to each day that you have versus just being focused on the number of days or the number of dollars to extend those days.
Yeah, makes sense. So let me connect the dots here now back to financial planning. Here's something that I know, this is kind of my philosophy. Financial planning touches on a lot of different things. And of course, the idea of assets, liabilities, investing, insurance, money, reducing risk, all of that is all incredibly important. But monies and financial planning ties into a lot of different things. And I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations about all different subjects with clients. And sometimes just the idea of living well, right? Making good decisions and quality of life is a subject that comes up on a regular basis. So the other thing that I know, and this video, just as premise, is going to be most applicable to our senior adult viewers, perhaps caregivers of senior adults or family members, children of senior adults. The thing that I know, and I've seen again and again and again, the data just fleshes out, is that as we age, our healthcare expenses go up, and particularly associated with degenerative disease. I know, as a lifelong athlete, that moving well, or moving period, can help stave off, improve outcomes, or reduce exacerbations of degenerative disease. And so we're going to connect these two ideas here, that if we can do those things, then we perhaps stretch dollars further. There's a delay in the burden on a financial plan for healthcare. So talk to us a little bit about that idea of movement helping to stave off degenerative disease, or reduce, or improve outcomes or reduce exacerbations.
Yeah. Well, so if you think about a road trip, there are several things that you're going to do in preparation for that road trip. You want to have a dependable vehicle. Think about your body as that. Now, we can't go out and necessarily replace our bodies. You can get a new knee, and you can get a knee replacement, foot and ankle, you can replace your ankle. You can do a shoulder replacement, but the idea that this is the body that you have, these are the raw materials that you have, and you've lived life. And so you've earned this income, and you've made some investments there. Now, on this road trip, you want to be able to stop at rest stops, see sights, enjoy that trip. You're not just trying to get to a final destination. So look at life really the same way. How do we enjoy life? How do we live life to the highest degree possible if we always have to go to a physician because we have joint pain, right? So arthritis is a good example. Now, whether you don't move or you move a ton, you can still develop arthritis. Now, the idea is if we improve the quality of movement early on, if we make great investments in our health and wellness early on by moving well, then moving often, then we have an increased likelihood of maintaining mobility, strength, flexibility, and balance, so that as we get into our 6th or 7th or 8th decade, we've got enough finances to live that life. But now we have the mobility and we have that ability to do that.
Right. So continue to enjoy experiences for as long as possible, and also perhaps not have to go see the doctor quite as often, which that's where the bills tie in and the burden on a financial plan comes in.
Exactly.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about, is that idea of how those two things can be parallel. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it, you've seen it from a clinical standpoint. Right. I've seen it from a financial standpoint, and the burdens that it can create and the stress that it can create. So really, that's just my encouragement for the audience. If you had maybe 2 or 3, really just mission critical, universally applicable pieces of advice for people as they age, what would they be?
So when you sit down with someone, you kind of want to have an idea of like what their goals are long term, and then you kind of work back. I think the same thing. What do you want your life to look like at 60, at 70? And start making those investments now. 2 things that I think are invaluable is one, maintaining your ability to get on and off the ground. All right, that's huge. The second aspect of that is balance. So dynamic balance as you age has a huge impact. I mean, you're talking upwards of $25, $26 billion in terms of the impact on the healthcare industry. So when you think about maintaining dynamic balance, that means standing on one leg. If you can stand on one leg for 20 seconds, and that number is the same on both sides, both your left and your right, you have not only longer days, but you have better days. You have more enjoyable days. So if you can get on and off the ground and you can maintain dynamic balance, your ability to live alone and your ability to maintain a really high quality of life, it's possible. It's definitely possible from that standpoint. So those are the 2 things I would say that you should focus on.
So getting up and down and balance, and that's that, not to be cliche, but that is about a perfect correlation. So when I think about this, we've got physical fitness, we've got financial fitness. Those 2 things synergize together, particularly for senior adults. And so that's why I wanted to come sit down with Kenny today. Man, I really appreciate your time, as usual.
Likewise.
And your friendship.
Yeah, this was fun.
We'll connect again if we can ever be of help, if Kenny can be of help. M3 Motion and Physical Therapy, and then of course Hitchcock Medics Financial Partners. Reach out as you'd like to. We'll connect. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.